Hello, beautiful beings. Say hi, Doozer. Well, I smoked. Yeah, about 15 minutes ago. I just couldn't stop thinking about it no matter what I did. So I did, and I'm not regretting it. Not at all. I still feel fine about it. I feel absolutely fine. I get an idea in my head of what I should be doing, how things should look, and it teaches me even more that I have absolutely no idea how things are supposed to look. So, I've already prayed to stay really balanced with it, because me personally, I would rather have marijuana in my life than not have it in my life, but I've never been able to remain balanced with it. And my deepest desire is that I only smoke in the evening, at about 7 o'clock. I'm not going to have like a strict, time, because my mind can get a hold of that. But I just want to hold on to it loosely and not give it a whole lot of thought during the day, not be addictive with it, they're saying. Yeah, absolutely. That's my goal. And if it's achievable, then I will achieve it. I absolutely know that. Yeah, it's like marijuana for me seems to be, they keep repeating some words and that I'm just not going to say it. They're like, why not? You're making videos about your personal, your ascension process. Why wouldn't you say what we're saying? Marijuana for me is like a spiritual lubricant. It was really, really good for me I hadn't smoked for 2 months and 3 weeks. And I was supposed to take that break. But my mind told me that I should never ever smoke again because I'm trying to reach the level of the life of non-attachment. Not being attached to anything. And what they're saying right now is, how do you know it's an attachment? How do you know that? Usually when it says you shouldn't, like that's it, yes or no, not for drinking though, not for certain things. Yeah, see, black and white. My mind tries to put it in black and white. It either should be like this or it should be like that. Well, that's not the divine. No, I want to live from presence and just kind of like go with the current of divine love. That's what I want to do. And so I'm grateful that it was time for me to start smoking again. I'm not going to resist it. I absolutely treated it. My last video was about, what is a craving? And yes, it's a thought, but divine wisdom comes in as thoughts. So in my ascension process, I'm still learning what to pay attention to and what not to pay attention to. And they said it's just automatically happening. I am not doing anything. It's a shedding away of what I'm not. And as they're reminding me right now, we have been conditioned for thousands, if not millions of years to think a certain way. And so the ascension process is letting go of all that. And so it's going to take a while. It's absolutely going to take a while. But I do know that our natural state, I feel like I'm there more than not. And, well, I am there. That's where I already am. So my process is to shed as much of the useless personal identity as required, so I can be in my natural state, like the most natural state in this physical form that I possibly could be. Because I believe that that's the only way I can be a clear, open channel for the universe, for divine wisdom to flow through. It's not my persona that has a purpose of helping on the planet. It just is coming from being. There's really no, I don't know, beingness, just being. It requires clearing out the channel, and that's the ascension process. I think I'm saying it in reverse now, what I just said. but it's a letting go of, and that can feel like deep grieving at times. Like the last 5 days, I felt like I was just grieving, and I didn't really know what I was grieving, but the thought of smoking came in, and I took it as me trying to escape how I was feeling. But it's actually, right now, this is how I feel, a divine gift for me to help. That's why it's a spiritual lubricant, is I can be in a shedding phase and not know that I'm in a shedding phase in my ascension process because I'm in it. And then the desire, I'm almost in tears because I'm realizing this as I'm saying it to you. It is all unfolding right in the moment. It's just so beautiful to me. So after I have reached, it's just like the snake. There's so many different analogies, but the snake one is coming up right now. It's a shedding of a whole another layer. Like, I can't even imagine trying to describe what's in the layer, but it's a lot of useless personal identity that I used to think was me, the person. Oh, so when I get to a certain point in that cycle of shedding again, I start thinking about smoking. And I just, no matter what I do, no matter how much I pray or meditate or talk to people about it, or, no matter how much I treat it, because I've learned to treat things, and if it's just my mind, then I can treat it and it will go away. But if it's the divine, then there's nothing that I will ever be able to do to make it go away. So I'm realizing that right now, and why it's a spiritual lubricant is, for me, when I am at a certain part of this last shed, it's up over my eyes and I can't see anymore. It's at the biggest, oh, sure. Never thought of that before. It's at the biggest part of the head where the eyes are. And that's the part that hurts the most. At least it did for me when I was when I was in childbirth. I used no painkillers for all 3 children. So when it would get to the biggest part of their head or the skin over my eyes, that's when I start thinking about smoking. And then when I finally just okay, whatever, I release resistance. I'm already in the process of the next rebirth, they're saying. And so I've just felt really uncomfortable the last 5 days and blamed it on getting upset about something about the car. And, well, it was actually finding out that somebody else was upset about the whole process anyway. So, wow, I see it all clearly now. And I actually saw it clearly in the midst of it too. That's beautiful. So I blamed it on just getting upset, and that triggered my desire, the addict's desire to smoke. No, it was the divine encouraging me to smoke, because now it's it's helping peel that skin away from my eyes so I can see again. And it's not because I'm smoking. This is a spiritual lubricant. I just can't say it any better than that. It's helping me through this last phase of shedding. So, what I'm really praying is going to happen is I will not feel even the need to smoke every single day. I pray, divine, I'm praying that marijuana can just be used for my highest good, for the good of my evolution on this planet, and for my highest ascension that I could possibly achieve. Well, it's not even me achieving it. It's the letting go of what I'm not. That's what I'm working on, and I'm not even working on it. It kind of feels like I am, but it's letting go of, it's just so beautiful. I love realizing it as I'm making this video. Every single one of my videos, I'm just in the moment. It's not a before thought, and I would have never in a million years would have thought that I would be making YouTube videos and being like so uncensored. Not in a million years. But I feel incredibly grateful about it. I really do. I couldn't feel more grateful that I have the life that I have. So I've been taking you through my ascension process, and sometimes I forget that because I'm in the middle of a shed. And I get to move in about a week. I can literally pick up a rock and throw and hit the side of the house that I'm moving into from my camper. And it's all happening. It's all making perfect sense now. Why I'm moving in a week, why I smoked today. I'm at the end of a shed. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. I want my tea. Ancients, is there anything specific you'd like to talk about besides what we just shared? Oh, wow. It's not marijuana itself. That one's kind of unexplainable. It's the rock, like the rock in the pond. They're saying, I'm still having realizations. I'm realizing as I'm talking to you, as always. So I can't quite verbalize it yet. It was coming through and then completely cut off, which I can absolutely see perfectly now too, why that happens. I feel like, well, no, I know that I have been releasing, like when I would forget what I was saying before, the mind would come up and just get busy about me forgetting and how I should remember. Well, through this ascension process, I get to shed the thoughts that would just pop up like that. Oh, so amazing. My mind gets more and more quiet. That's the goal. But I can't have an idea of how quiet it should be. When my mind gets a hold of that thought, I just watch, more Eckhart videos. I watch Papa G. I watch Muji sometimes. But usually just Eckhart and Papa G. And Mother Mira. She recently came into my life, like 3 weeks ago. That makes perfect sense. My being doula. I'm a being doula. When I asked the ancients a couple years ago, if somebody asked me what my label is, I wouldn't say guru or anything like that. That's such a mind thing, it seems like. And they said, and I just waited in the silence. I just waited, and they said, "You are a being doula." Oh, so beautiful. So Mother Mira showed up for me about 3 weeks ago, when the skin was over my eyes, in my shed. Thank you, Mother Mira. Thank you so much. I meditated with you today. She does live meditations at 11 o'clock, my time anyway. I'm in Montana. She'll look right into your soul and untie your knots. And I've just been begging her to untie my knots. Anything that I feel, well, no, just letting go of who I'm not. But really, anything that I feel, really has my personal identity written all over it. Yeah, an attachment. So I still feel like I can be Brahmin, even though I smoked. Who knows what it's going to look like? I'm going to really practice presence, staying present with the whole marijuana thing. Maybe I won't even smoke every day. That would be a huge blessing. I would like to just use it as this type of lubricant. So it's like an epidural when giving birth. It helps the shedding process for me at times. But I don't want to use it addictively because I love how I feel when I'm not smoking now. I absolutely love it. It only got uncomfortable, because it was at the end of this particular shed. If you're struggling with anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. It is my highest joy, our highest joy, that we could have even a short conversation. It probably wouldn't be short because it's just so joyful for both parties. Even when the other person is just feeling just at their end, you're giving birth. You're at the end of a cycle, even if it feels like you've been in this cycle for 20 years. If you get a hold of us, there's the great possibility that you are getting a hold of us to help you through a major shed, to help rebirth you into your new experience with your life. So exciting. Oh my gosh. Love you so much. satsongwithmamag@gmail.com, or you could leave me a comment in the comment section. They're saying you could leave us a comment in the comment section.